What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got Lamont Roach in the news. That is Lamont Roach Jr. As he is he is talking about taking Tank Davis to court. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna play the clip. I saw this on Instagram. I'll give a shout out. Let me go look for the clip real quick so I can give the page a shout out. But I saw this clip, man, and I got some things to say about it, bro. But let me go ahead and play this clip first.
Him breaching the contract is, if y'all put yourself in my shoes, you gotta think, I'm looking forward to fighting and getting paid. I'm looking forward to fighting and winning so I could be two-time world champ. Me. I'm in training for a fight to be a champion in another weight class and for me to be crowned champion twice in my career. And this just go and then end up announcing another fight. Put yourself in my shoes. Not gonna happen like that. So if it's not taken care of, yeah, you want arbitration.
For those that don't know what arbitration is, it's basically like when you have a mediator to basically resolve a conflict between two parties or whatnot. I don't necessarily think you need a judge, but you have a mediator or whatever. But anyways, let me go ahead and get into this. All right. First and foremost, listen, Lamont Roach, look, I understand you wanted a rematch, right? Not mad at that at all. I understand that the competitor in you wants that rematch. You felt like you won that fight, so you want a chance to prove that why you should have won the first fight. Bro, I understand that wholeheartedly, my brother. I get it. But here's the thing about it, bro, and this is just the true reality of the fact, right? Do I think Lamont Roach should get a rematch with Tank? Absolutely. But does Tank have to give him a rematch? Technically, no, and I'm gonna tell you why. You might not want to hear this, but it's just the reality of it. I could see if Lamont Roach if Lamont Roach had a title on the line, right? Lamont Roach has a belt at 130, but his title was not on the line. If Lamont Roach had a title on the line and Tank Davis fought Lamont Roach and beat Lamont Roach, and then but Lamont Roach really should have won that fight or whatever the situation may be, and Lamont Roach wants his rematch, and Tank chooses to just go otherwise, then I can see you doing that, right? Only if you have a rematch clause, right? I could see you going to arbitration, or I could see you trying to take him to court or whatnot to get what's owed to you, right? Because at that point you would be owed a rematch. But here's the problem and the reality of it: Tank doesn't owe this man nothing. We would like for him to give him a rematch, but in the court, once you take this to court, the facts are Tank doesn't owe you anything. Why? Because for one, your titles weren't on the line. For two, you didn't lose your titles. For three, you didn't take Tank's titles. So I mean, like, even if you like Tank, and it wasn't a rematch clause in the contract. So technically, you can go to court or you can go to arbitration, but at the end of the day, nothing's gonna be settled by that. You're not gonna get the fight with Tank Davis, because it's nothing owed to you. Another thing that kind of has me like wondering is I just not too long ago saw Lamont Roach post that I guess him and Isaac Cruz were supposed to be fighting, or they had a fight. They were in deep talks to fight. What happened with that? You know what I'm saying? So, and don't get it twisted, bro. Yes, I do feel like Lamont Roach should get a rematch, and that's why you have to appreciate fighters like Floyd Mayweather, because like, regardless, I know a lot of people like to throw salt on Floyd, but one thing about Floyd is when he had moments where people thought that he lost the fight, like Jose Luis Castillo or Marcos Maidana, he immediately ran it back with them. As a matter of fact, Jose Luis Castillo was actually able to get a fight in between his loss with Floyd and the rematch with Floyd, and Floyd stayed out until the rematch. So you gotta appreciate that, right? But the bottom line is, bro, Tank Davis doesn't technically have to give you a rematch. And that was one of the things with Lamont Roach that I was kind of getting irritated by. I think Lamont Roach is getting a little bit too big for his britches, meaning that I think he like at this point he feels like Tank owes him. And bro, bottom line, he really doesn't. I would love for Tank to give you a rematch. Do you deserve a rematch? Absolutely. But let's keep it a buck here. We live in a world where just because you deserve something doesn't mean it's going to be given to you. You got to get out and take it. You got to go get it. And the only way you can do that, well, first of all, you cannot put your career on hold for Tank Davis. I've seen too many fighters make that mistake. Lamont Roach cannot make that mistake. Tank does not owe you a rematch. Do not do what Triple G did with Gennady Golovkin. Do not do what Amir Khan did with Floyd Mayweather. Don't do that, bro. Do not put your career on hold for another fighter. That is stupid to me. Don't do what Kell Brook did with Amir Khan. Don't put your career on hold for another fighter. That was one of my main issues with like somebody like Kell Brook. Kell Brook fought Sean Porter, and after that, I don't think like up until the excuse me, up until the fight with Terrence Crawford, I don't think. Well, he fought. Okay, no, I'm lying. I'm sorry. I'm lying. I am lying. Forgive me. Kell Brook, he did put his career on hold slightly for Amir Khan, but then he came back and fought like Triple G and then fought Errol Spence and lost both of those fights. But so I can't say Kell Brook more so, but I will say Amir Khan put his career on hold just for Floyd Mayweather. He was chasing Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. Triple G did not want to take any big fights with any other fighter except for Canelo Alvarez at that particular time. Now, at one particular time, Triple G was chasing everybody, but he was being ducked by Miguel Cotto, Sergio Martinez, Peter Quillen, Danny Jacobs at the time, Canelo at the time, Billy Ho Saunders at the time. But then it was like Canelo was able to dictate his career because once he got the first Canelo fight, it's like he didn't want to fight nobody but Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, I don't like that. What you got to do if you're Lamont Roach, you have to fight the fighters that are available for you, right? First of all, get a belt at 135. That's not going to make Tank want to fight you because Tank has proven that he doesn't care about legacy. That's not going to make Tank want to fight you. And that's another thing that his team is going to have to realize. Tank doesn't care about legacy. I'm actually going to do another video about that. He doesn't care about legacy. So you got to get it out your mind that Tank should want to get back with you. He should want to, but he's not going to. Tank is going to do what Tank wants to do. He's going to fight Jake Paul, possibly retire. I would not be mad if Tank retires. What Lamont Roach really needs to be doing is relinquishing that belt at 130. If you're going to campaign at 135 or you talking about moving up to 140, you're holding that, you're babysitting that title at 130. What's the title that he has at 130? Is it the WBC or the WBA? One of the two. Whatever title that he has at 130, he needs to relinquish it because if you're not fighting nobody at 130. It doesn't look like you're gonna even be campaigning at 130 anymore. So you need to go ahead and get rid of that. Solidify yourself at 135, which you kind of already have with your fight with Tank. But go ahead and fight some of the other names at 135 and establish yourself that way. Don't just rely on Tank. Rely on a Tank star power to get you to where you want to be at because, bro, you can't base your career off of one person. You got to go out there and get it how you can, bro. And that's the best way to handle it. And I even heard he was, and see, that's another thing. His fight with Isaac Cruz, what is that gonna be at? Because I thought Isaac Cruz was campaigning at 140. Is Isaac gonna come back down to 135, or is Lamont Roach gonna move to 140? I don't know. He says he wants to be a 2-division world champion. This is the way to do it, bro. Keep yourself active at that weight class. Fight the fights that you have to, and get a title, and go from there. But you can't base your career off of Tank, bro. And that's what I'm starting to see. I don't want you to fall down that trap, dog. Plenty of fights for you to fight at 135, and it's even more at 140. People are looking at you. Bro, I really wanted to see him fight Shakur. I wanted that fight with Shakur. Make that fight with Shakur if you can. But I think Shakur is lined to fight Teofimo. So, you might have to hold. Because you got Shakur. You got I don't know. I don't think Keyshawn is at that weight class anymore. But you know, you have a lot of guys that you can fight, get you a title. You know, you have the talent to do it. You just got to do it. All right. So that's my take on it. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Which way do you think Lamont Roach should be going? But what do I know?